What's up? I'm Captain Mel Asylum, and here's another sip of Galactic Tea. Blank Man. This, once again, watching something as an adult from when I was younger, first thing that came to mind and everything was all the stuff that I didn't quite understand as a kid that I understand now. I understand and relate to this movie a whole lot more than I did when I was a kid, and I did find it very relatable when I was a kid, because the inventive, nerdy kid who was obsessed with Power Rangers and Star Trek grow up and have a sibling who's like, why are you still into this? And why do you think that way? And she's more social than I am with the whole friend thing and talking to people. So, and I still want to binge watch science fiction and make up my own characters and universes. The parallels between Batman and actually kind of doing Batman better. And I don't want to make this about Batman, but no, it's not going to be about Batman. It's going to be about the fact that we enjoy the hero actually trying to do good because he sees to find good to do, and probably doesn't have a whole lot more that he could do other than support the character that is trying to make the world better as he would like, which is the guy who's running for office, who his grandma was working with. So, and it's not like he's a billionaire. So he's working paycheck to paycheck, as far as I know. So he is literally doing the best he can to make things better and giving people hope. Not necessarily just beating up people to beat up people because you angry and don't know what to do with your feelings. I'm not making this about Batman. So, but to compare it to Batman because he was so inspired by Batman, and yes, I'm not using people's names. Of course, I know Batman's name. Well, and Blank Man, I know obviously because the name of the movie. The comedic actors playing in this was so good. Like they were already like pretty much the best of their time. So them, and they already worked together so much. So them playing brothers just worked well. Maybe one of the only like black nerds that we have representation for. Nowadays, with people like Meg Thee Stallion, you can be a black nerd and it's very cool. But back then, black nerds were always seen as bumbling idiots that were also geniuses. And it's like, we're not like that. Even in the 90s, we weren't like that. And then also, nerds in general, that's how people saw nerds in general. So, and at some point, it's not like they made nerds of any other nationality, color, whatever, cooler. Like, they were equally dorky. I do have to bring up the huge autistic elephant in the movie, where our main character is very much showing some autistic tendencies, which is basically the 90s stereotype of a nerd. We don't socialize very well, don't get laid, um, not that the stereotypes, not that that happens. Plenty of autistic people are parents and therefore have. I'm gonna leave it at that. The stereotypes are strong in so many different ways, like between the autism, the nerdiness, and just the of being really smart at certain things that other people don't understand, which is relatable. Seeing things in a different way from everyone else is just neurodivergence in general. Movies like that were really important growing up, and I'm glad I got to rewatch it because it reminded me again of one of those things, kind of like Cleopatra 2525, where I got to actually see something about me being shown as a hero or as a good guy, or not necessarily always being thrown to the side or being the extra. Especially in the 90s, it was always like the nerd character that was the comic relief. And in this case, the nerd character, the whole thing is a comedy, so yeah, comedy relief, but also the hero. And that was so important because it's we should be encouraging people to do things with their intelligence instead of getting mad at them for seeing the world differently. So that's my review, my re-review. Not that I've done a review, but of Blank Man. So be safe out there.